Alright, this is Cadma from the Bitten Apple. Alright, I'm sorry, I just kind of feel like we're more juicy than any other apple you've ever had a taste of. This week I came across an article that was kind of bugging me out. It was a lot of hatred towards Taylor Swift. So for the Bitten Apple TV today, I would like to cover what it is like trying to be or actually being a star. It's not easy. Now here's the thing. The article was talking about how the director felt bad for Taylor because she was freezing cold on set and they all had winter coats on. So the comments that I read were all like, oh, boo-hoo, big whoop. She's making millions of dollars and she was cold for like 10 minutes. Ooh. First of all, you have no clue what goes into entertainment unless you've worked it, whether you're union or non-union. That was my immediate, oh, he hasn't worked in, entertainment, obviously, because he's running his mouth with this. And I'm like, you don't understand. The money that you get is not necessarily the money you get to keep. Okay, there's a lot of hard work that goes into entertainment. So just because you see a commercial for 2 minutes, it took all day. That means 12, 19 hours of filming and maybe a few weeks if it needed to be until it was just right, because your product is you. Your career is you. You are selling you. Your image, how you look, how you act, how you breathe. There is a reason why actors tend to go, ah! There's a reason for it, And I feel like some people just disregard it. It was too busy. I hate Taylor Swift. That's really what it was about. But I'm like, you can't hate the girl. I respect the art that she does. So when I was reading all these hateful comments, I was sort of like putting the gloves on, like, let's go. Now, for this week's episode, what I wanted to cover was the difficulties and the issues behind entertainment and what really goes behind it. Now, the reason why the director felt bad for her is because of what she had to endure. I worked on Jessica Jones. We were all in winter coats and stuff. It was below negative. In the negative. Freezing outside. Do you know the principal out there was in her little leather jacket, looking all cute, her tiny little thin shirt? That's what she was wearing in brick cold weather. Okay, so when Taylor Swift is freezing on set and everyone else has winter coats, she's not an idiot. She has to do it. Why? Because she's the principal. That is part of the role. That is the role that she was signed to contract to. And even if she didn't, sometimes your agent will get you a job that you have to work. Why? Because you got bills. And part of the issue is that when you're working in entertainment, here's the thing. You see this one? You have to wait for your money. I did a modeling job one time that I had to wait 3 months. 3 months! 3! To get my money. You think my bills gave a crap about that? No. So before you put down an actor like, oh, they're stupid, maybe you should listen and kind of hear what we kind of go through on set. The hours are not as short as you think. You can work a 4-hour shift sometimes, but majority of the times you're working a 10, 12, 19-hour shift, and then you have to get back up and do it all over again the following day. I mean, when I was on Gotham, Jada Pinkett, she had to work all these crazy hours. The only person who got cut slack was little Miss Kitsy. I call her my little Michelle Pfeiffer. But she's adorable. But she's also a minor, so she can only be worked with so many hours. All the other adults? Yeah. Guess who got to stay on set with them? Yep, me. And I got to see them all go, man, I wish I was a kid. I saw the look on their face. They didn't have to say it. I could see the look on their face like, oh, I wish I was underage. It would have saved them so much more trouble. Now, like I said, contracts. If you sign a contract to Pepsi, you cannot do a contract for Coca-Cola. So if you need to pay your bills and Coca-Cola has an ad, guess what you can't do? Now, the other thing is you're exposed to the elements. When I did bathing suit photo shoots, guess what I was doing them in? The winter. When I had to do heavy, sweaty stuff, that was done in the summer. Don't ask me why. But it's just the way how it is. When production picks up, you have to do it. It does not matter. No one cares. You do the freaking job, you shut up, and you get paid. The other things you want to go over is union versus non-union. Non-union people get the same exact amount of abuse, except they get, oh boy, they get less pay. I do not miss being non-union at all. It is tough, and it's even more tougher now to get into the union. I'm a union actor. I don't look down on the non-union people. I'm always like, stay in there, man. The other thing that other people don't take into consideration is mental endurance. You go out to these lovely auditions. You're paid to go to these auditions endlessly. You pay. That's right. Not your agent. Not anyone else. When you book the gig, you still have to pay the travel to cover it unless you happen to be within the vicinity and they can arrange for someone to get you there. The other thing is you have to pay your agent, your publicist, okay? You have to pay your way for travel. Those we'll go over in a minute. But those are all endless things that you have to constantly deal with. And then as mental endurance, you have to deal with people who are hating on you because they're like, oh, she makes millions. You don't always make millions. You can actually be world famous and not have a dime in your pocket. It is actually very possible. And to some people, like, that's not possible. Like, it is possible because there's a reason why they call it the starving artist. There's a reason behind it. It is not an easy field whatsoever. Your daughter's dance recital? Yeah. Think about how many months it took for her to do the recital. Like, oh, well, that's only because I take her once or twice a week. There's a reason for it. It takes hard work to do entertainment. Okay? The other thing you have to also deal with is stalkers. Jodie Foster much? I'm just simply saying, I deal with stalkers. I deal with the weirdness where someone's like, oh, I got an audition for you, and then I show up at the date. Reference to the previous episode. Because they would say it's an audition or it's a hangout, and it's not. You also have to deal with sometimes not being allowed to express yourself. Because you are being paid, you are contracted to becoming the character, to doing what they say, expressing yourself the way the character needs to be expressed, but not the way you want it. So that means what you think is dead. Pay attention to that. I'm just simply saying. The other last thing is keeping the career alive. You gotta keep it alive. You know why? Otherwise it has RIP on it. I'm just simply saying. It is not an easy field to go into. There's a reason why actors, actresses, musicians, anyone in entertainment will just sometimes just snap, kill themselves, kill another person. We all go crazy at some point, have an emotional breakdown in front of the entire world, which is even more embarrassing. But no one has tougher skin. Because we deal with rejection constantly. We get called in for jobs all the time, and they're like, oh, we love you, love your work. Oh my God, come in. And then you get in there, and then they act like they love you. And you're like, wow, might be able to pay that bill after all. And then you get in there, and they're like, oh, we went in another direction. What? Acting and modeling is not as easy as people think. People think with modeling, oh, you just stand in front of the camera and you go, no. Them girls, those photo shoots you see, they spend 10, 12 hours. Those runway shows, they rehearse them. This is long hours. Have you worked in doing a rehearsal 10, 12, 15, 16 hours and 3-inch heels? Until you have done so, please be silent. That's what they do during these rehearsals. I mean, it's so much work. And I kind of just thought, as an actor, especially as a union actor, or an actor in general, don't be so quick to bash. Just saying. Don't bash. Because you have no idea the amount of hard work that goes into it. So for this episode, I kind of wanted to cover my frustration with that, because I kind of felt the need to stand up for Taylor Swift, and was like, obviously you don't work in entertainment. You have no idea the amount of crazy abuse that you go through, but the reason why you do it is because you love the art. You love the end production. I mean, when I worked on Gotham as Mooney's gang, it was freezing. Jada, she was freezing. But she held her crap together. When you watch the episode, you're not like, oh, I could tell she was freezing. Like, you don't see any of that. There's a reason for it. A lot, and the worst part about it, in the article that I read about Taylor Swift, she wasn't even the one that complained. Everyone else felt sorry for the way I felt sorry. for when we were filming Jessica Jones. I felt so sorry for her. I was like, oh my god, she's freezing. She's gonna catch pneumonia. Oh my god, like, whoa! You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking, and yet there was nothing else to complain about. You know, I mean, a lot of work goes into it, and the point is, not everyone gets paid as much money as you think they do. And even if they are getting paid a lot of money, that money is not always something they have to keep. They have to pay for the bills. They may have to wait 3 to 6 months for their paycheck. You might get paid weekly, bi-weekly. Sometimes they have to take side jobs. Sometimes they have to do random jobs. Sometimes they have to do jobs that they don't even want to do just to pay their bills. They're human. Please don't forget that. But yeah, so besides all that, thanks for watching once again. Sorry, it's a little more grimmer than usual, but that really, like, upset me. Like, how dare you? You sit there, you badmouth a girl just because she's making money, and she may not even get to keep all of it. So make sure you do this. It's a sexy little button. It's done there. It's done. Done. You click the subscribe button because, quite frankly, you love listening to me run my mouth. Got no clue why. Although it's funny because if you saw me in person, you'd probably see me inside my my DS or in a book, or just sitting quietly fantasizing about music videos inside my head as I listen to System of a Down. That's what you would catch me doing silently. So I'm only talkative in these videos, so you might want to enjoy it. So subscribe, and the reason why you want to subscribe is because we are going to become a great nation of Bitten Apple. Too much? All right, cool. But if you subscribe, after we get our first 100 subscribers, guess what we're gonna do? A music video with the whole cast of Bitten Apple TV. I know whole cast looks like 2 people right now, but it's actually a few more of us. We just have to change a few things around for production because a couple of shows weren't able to get put out the way that I had planned to in order to really build up the network and promote my friends the way I feel my friends should be promoted. So I hope you enjoyed this this episode, and I'll catch you later. Thanks.